Hi guys, I know it's been a while. Welcome back to another episode of Resilient Women Wednesday podcast. If you don't already know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Tammy. I'm a C4, C5 quadriplegic, and I was injured through a car accident when I was 17 on April 4th, 2008. So for today, I'm so excited for you guys to meet my two beautiful friends, Tiffany and Teresa. Would you like to introduce yourself, Tiffany, and then share about your little story, and then we'll go to Teresa?
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
I am a 13 year and a mother of two children.
Oh, sorry, Teresa. Tiffany, do you mind saying that in? Because when you were moving it, it kind of blocked out. Okay. Yeah, you can stabilize it and then just share your story and your name whenever you're ready. Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'm Tiffany. I'm a teacher.
I think your phone started glitching when you moved it back. Okay, if you can move it forward a little, maybe you can hear it.
We can't really get it to stay up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you better. Yeah, take your time, no worries. Teresa, if you want, you can go first, and then we can go back to Tiffany. Feel free to take your time stabilizing it, okay? Go ahead, Teresa. You want to share your story?
Hi, I'm Teresa. I'm a C465 collegiate. EWP, no bar, which means I can't feel necessarily from the chest down, and then I have paralysis in the hands, quadriplegic. Mine was from a drunk driver as well. I was passenger one, and our car ended up crashing into another one in Sandro on May 19th of 2018.
Gotcha.
I'm really injured.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our life days are coming up. Okay, thank you, Teresa. We can go back to you, Tiffany. Sorry, go ahead.
Hi, I'm sorry. I got into a accident in 2009. Me and my friend were waiting for a car until late. This was trying to drive in minutes to push me. I realized tonight I got the worst. So I am a C3 quadriplegic, and it's been tough. But I have two children at that time, and so it was 12 years coming up in March 28th.
Gotcha. Oh wow. For some reason, one of we have a viewer tuning in right now, and they actually commented and said that there's a lot of echo. So I don't know how we can change. We're already on live now, guys, and it's kind of hard to change that. I think it's due to the phone. So we apologize, and I hope you can bear with us. And I can always repeat what these girls are saying, but
There's echo.
Huh? Both phone is echoing, and I guess it glitches a little too. So if anything, you guys can also slow down when you talk so it catches up. That's the best we can do right now. So I guess we'll go to our questions, yeah. And so speaking of drunk driving, I wanted to spread drunk driver awareness, which is why I brought these two girls on. Tiffany, if I was wondering if you could talk to the person who injured you, what would your message be to them?
All I want is apology.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, she still would be. If it wasn't for me, she still would have been in jail.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know, because it wasn't their chance to do.
Sorry, say that again? Just kind of slow.
If it wasn't for me, she still would have been in jail.
Oh.
But I'll let her go because they were going to the situation.
Oh, okay. So she kind
Her
of walked.
memory found
She was able to walk away kind of scot
that
free.
was well, I think she did 2 weeks, and then it was all of them wanted just completely.
Yeah, I mean that's important, right? Because it kind of makes us feel seen, especially valid and seen for kind of the suffering that they cause with, with their reckless decisions. Um, you know, and yeah. Well, I'm glad you're still here, and I hope, I wish we can always find peace within our own self, and I think she kind of has to live with that, and it doesn't make you less of a nice person if you know that whether she apologizes or not, because you're doing really well and you haven't given up on yourself, so I'm very proud of you. Okay, Teresa, same thing. If you could talk to the person who injured you, what would your message to them be?
Well, my message would be that he has no idea how the decision made that night has turned from how my life is now because of it, and I haven't seen any like remorse for it, and I guess it's just like if I got done some type of support, and it's that he knows what he did with Long, and we're actually, because of COVID, we're still waiting for the trial for the court case, which is hopefully coming up in May, but COVID delayed it, so we're still waiting to get justice, I guess, for the situation.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's just so, like, I'm sure it's so hard to be here and literally sit in this, like, situation, by the hands of someone else's decisions and poor decision making, like we didn't ask for any of
While
it.
they're still out living their life, and
It's so hard. Yeah, yeah, you hit that dead on, Teresa. Like, it's hard to see them living life. Um, and I hope you can find, along with Tiffany and all of us, you can find your own peace, and you can still pave and live the life that you desire. And I know, even if it like, just limited, physical abilities doesn't mean that you can't live life. There's other ways around things. And I do hope that they see these and see that the suffering they cause, or the pain and the inconvenience that it has put us in. Um, Before I go to the next question, there is someone here who says mine was from a speeding driver who was not paying attention. And every driver was fine. So, all of us, for me, I was asleep in the back. Everyone, the car flipped. My friend got pulled out by a Navy SEAL. I had to be extracted from a firefighter by firefighters. And my friend just fractured her neck but didn't break her neck. And she broke her elbow. We were both in halos, but she walks. The front drivers walked away free. And yeah, like, I saw her get married recently, and, like, I felt petty, but I couldn't help but, like, roll my eyes. I was just like, I guess that part of me, was, like, still angry. I mean, it doesn't affect me daily, but then there's things that triggers it, and I'm human, but I've lived a really fulfilled life. So I hope you guys know that it's... I'm sorry, go ahead.
He was really young too.
Yeah, I was really young, and so I hope I really have faith in you guys and, like, your abilities to really pave the life that you live. You've made it so far, So yeah. Next question. If you can raise awareness and send out a message to those who drink and drive, what would it be, Tiffany?
I feel like just watch for others.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to be.
Yeah. It really is important to look out for others. Sometimes it's hard to convince people, but the best we can do is kind of remind and, tell someone to kind of chill and call them an Uber. There's so many outlets, right, to protect someone now and prevent them from drunk driving. Um, so, yeah.
Right.
Good answer, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? If you can raise awareness and send out a message to those who drink and drive, what would it be?
That it's not worth risking your life to someone else's life because you decided to go out and drink and not figure out how you were meant to make all you did at home to your chin. And just remember that it's not worth it. Just be able to
Sorry, it's a little.
say you made it up.
Can you hear me? It's a little glitchy. Can you slow down and try to say that again so I can see if it catches up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Teresa.
Just that it's not worth it, and that you need to plan ahead and to remember if you have someone else in the car with you, whether it's your friend, and you caught the accident as you were drinking right, would you be okay to have to go to their parents, tell them that it was their fault, for them losing their lives because of what you did, or them being paralyzed because of what you did? You need to think of it in that perspective, because you always want your friends and everyone to get home.
Yeah.
You want everyone to be safe, and you have to think of it as a way too. Like, what was your own family?
Yeah. Oh man, I only caught some of it. I hope other people are having better internet and a way of catching it more than I am. You can hear it. Maybe it's mine. Well, I guess to recap, I do agree with Teresa really a lot because it is really not worth it. And I think it's a slippery slope. Before my injury, I thought I was invincible. When you get away with it, you think you're going to keep getting away with it. You're invincible, And when I landed under that car, I was like, shit, I am not invincible. You just never think it would happen to you. And, great answer. You just never know how it can affect the next person or even yourself. Okay, thank you, Teresa. So, Tiffany, what do you feel is important to share so others can stay alert and aware in regards to drunk drivers? Like, what to look out for?
That's a hard answer because you can be having a great time. You get your car with the dish, and how you get home.
Just based on your experience.
You just know your limit. You can't do it. You have to look up.
Yeah.
I guess look up like how much the person's been drinking, or or if they're working, or that's a tough answer.
Yeah, to be mindful of like alcohol intake, and like sometimes we're comfortable with people. Like sometimes I feel like I trust certain people too much and know that you think they can handle their alcohol, but you just never know. Okay, great answer.
You don't know the next person.
Yeah, you're not in their body and how it's affecting them, how much they ate that day. It really, the little things factor. Okay, great answer, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? Well, what do you feel is most important to share so that others can stay alert and aware in regards to drunk drivers?
Not even just drunk drivers in general. Get in the car with someone, hope it's more than trust behind the wheel. What I mean, you have to trust them they're going to take like consideration or anything happening while you're driving the vehicle. And then like on top of that too, like if you're out with your friends drinking, what you want to do is you should leave something like, hey, you have to stay at home, you have to stay at home, or you're taking an Uber. You just
Yeah.
want to reach out to people and make sure that, hey, how are
Yeah.
you getting home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like we people need to learn, like there's no introduction to drinking and like drinking safely. You kind of just dive right into drinking, and nowadays, as I said, there's so many outlets, and there I think everyone needs to learn how to better coordinate, like, oh, did you book an Uber tonight, like, oh, can I ride with you, can you drop me off on the way, like things like that are just so important in order to avoid getting in the car with someone who's driving drunk, or being around, obviously you can't predict drivers that are drunk around you, but
More now that I've got to Parkinson, I did for an walk. Oh, we're having to go home. You know, what do you think about that? Really think about it like, hey, what is it? It's a little different. Like, I think a lot of times when you're walking, like, you weren't really thinking about car itself.
yeah,
To that adventure.
yeah,
That was a tough question. It's like, I'm really thinking about that.
yeah, yeah.
What
Okay.
else?
So I'm gonna move to the next question. Sometimes I can't always comment on what you guys are saying because, of course, there's the glitching. So I'm just gonna ask the questions, and I'll let you guys answer so that we can get this information out there. So I'm hoping through the recording it's a lot smoother than what I can hear. So thank you, you guys, for bearing with me, and whoever's still watching. We'll try to figure this out next time. Okay, in terms of PTSD, I know it can really affect, it's trauma. What we went through is traumatic. So I wanted to cover this topic regarding PTSD, and I wanted to know, Tiffany, how do you continue to move forward in life after being injured by a drunk driver and sustaining a spinal cord injury?
A lot of it had to do with caregivers. I felt like caregivers motivate me to get up, and it's something different now.
Yeah.
My children, first, they were little about them, and so I looked for caregivers.
Yeah.
But it was kind of what they're supposed to be, make me life a little better than no, because you couldn't have a life after that. So I looked forward to caregivers.
Yeah. That's very
whether it's family, people you know, whether people you hire, that was I knew that nobody's gonna be there for me if that makes sense. But that's kind of like caregivers, yeah. Because your family, your friends, your kids, but caregivers is the one that pushed me hard.
Yeah. From what I gathered, I did hear you say that you mentioned caregivers motivate you, and I thought it was such a unique answer because a lot of people are like, oh, my friends or family, and I think that's so beautiful, Tiffany, because sometimes caregivers aren't appreciated or highlighted enough, because they do, they are sometimes the oil to our well-ran machine. We do need the help, and like, of course, like, it's always,
And that's support.
yeah, and it's always a hard, difficult,
It's different.
yeah, to live a life now where our freedom or like independence relies on someone else's care. But it's beautiful to see like empathy and compassion and just help, and it does motivate us. It's almost like a friend, a paid friend.
It is. What it
Yeah.
is, but you
Yeah.
knew that you were gonna be out okay day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, beautiful answer. Thank you, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? Yeah. How do you continue to move forward in life after being injured by a drunk driver and sustaining a spinal cord injury?
So mine would be that it as like a second chance in life. It's a second chance to do things. Basically, just keep thinking of the future, and I try at least think of the past because you can't
Yeah.
change anything that happened before your life turned to this
Yeah.
part. Keep looking forward. I can eventually, cause that to happen. I'll be able to still be able to, go out with friends and do things like it's, I'm not, yeah, I'm not stuck
Yeah.
in this chair forever. I can move, do things other than the pandemic now, though. Yeah, we can move forward. Yeah, looking forward to the future and things, how to make things better for myself.
Yeah. Great answer. So from what I gathered, I think I feel like don't you feel like as soon as you got injured and you woke up in the hospital, life just got really like real, because you don't ever think it's gonna happen to you, but then now that it's occurred, it forces you to appreciate life and you start living life more. As a teen, I was just kind of coasting by and just digging around in life, like I didn't really live life. I didn't really know, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't really appreciate life. And as you said, I spent many years stuck in the past. I didn't realize, I didn't allow myself to grieve it. I didn't know how. I was so young, But as soon as you kind of bite the bullet and realize you need to move forward, you really start to live life and you find ways, And I think that's how you kind of move forward is by finding ways to still live life and find a new sense of normalcy and find what gives you life, that feeling of yeah. So it doesn't end here. It doesn't end here. So great answer. Thanks, Teresa. Okay. Tiffany, due to how you were injured, do you suffer from any post-traumatic stress or anxiety, like anxiety and panic attacks, like certain sounds, smells, and areas does it trigger you?
I think this was so bad. Like in the car, and they start bleeding out. There's like off on my head a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, okay. I think that's what my body did when I'm in the car. But then I'm okay.
Okay, that's good. I mean, post-traumatic stress is never fun. It comes at any time, and in the car is where most of my stress is. I'm like the most annoying backseat driver because I can't be in control, and yeah. I think we have a right. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? Did you how you were injured? Do you suffer from any form of post-traumatic stress or anxiety and panic attacks? Like, does certain sounds, smells, or areas trigger that part of like your memory and what happened to you?
Not really. Like when I think of it, because I'm still like surprised by this, but I'm still in cars and stuff like that. I was far from before, I'm in cars, and now it's not going to change me because I'm not letting it affect me.
Oh, that's good.
So I guess, yeah, I don't really have any triggers. Not that I'm really not for PTSD,
Yeah,
but yeah.
that's good. You're so right. It's such like it's definitely a choice in perspective, and it's a choice of mental control. That takes a lot. That's a lot of maturity, and that's a lot of growth. And for so long, I think I still struggle with it. I'm cleared to drive again. I'm studying for my test, and as I'm studying, and I'm reading the rules of the roads, my mind goes on a tangent. Like, oh shit, like what if this and this and this happens, you know? But I'm just like, like don't think about it, you know? But it's hard. My mind like veers off track. So I'm gonna keep that in mind, Teresa. Thank you. It's definitely like a choice. You know, like you can always figure it out. Like don't let the anxiety drag you off road, literally.
I get the anxiety part though about because you can drive before it. Accidentally drive. So I get how it feels you to like driving and stuff. So I mean, it's totally
Yeah. I haven't driven since 17. I mean, I was illegally driving realistically since 15 because I was a very bad girl. But I haven't driven on the road since I was 17. And I'm like damn near I'm about to be 31 this year, so I'm just like, oh my god, this nerve-wracking, you know? But I don't want it to stop me. I don't want this to stop me. And I don't think that you guys will either, you know? So whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since 2009.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Okay. To the next question. What was most traumatic for you, Tiffany, like at the beginning of your injury?
For me, that I couldn't see my children.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They were,
Yeah. I can't imagine as a mom. You guys, I forget that she's a mom. Doesn't she look like she's like in her like late 20s or early 30s? It blows my mind. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, back on topic. Like what were how long until you got to see them, and like what were you feeling, and like how was it stressful?
Well, I got to see them. It was for because of the time I went to the window because I had infection and all that.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was like 4 months I was able to see them. And I still didn't understand.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. Did they like fly in to see you? Oh, yeah, you're in Vegas. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm glad everything worked out, and your children are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? What was most traumatic for you at the beginning of your injury, like when you first woke up in the hospital, or your whole experience there?
I think the most traumatic part was that I didn't realize at first that I was paralyzed, that something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Until a week later, and then when I finally started thinking they're like, oh, you gotta be able to wheelchair and move around and stuff, I was just like, why doesn't anything move? Why can't I move anything? What's happening? And then something clicked in, like, hey, this is I'm gonna be like this. So I think the most traumatic part is realizing what actually happened to my body.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, were you able to move your arms somewhat? Is that why? Which was like,
So I
makes sense.
move my arms and not really my face much. I could move, and I was pretty. I'm scared. So it was hard to talk to, but it was just stuff. So it's not clicking necessarily. You're just like, okay, it's like my body didn't recover me.
Gotcha.
Be able to have those things then. And yeah, I think that's something that happened. I guess the most traumatic.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I was paralyzed as shit. And like when I woke up out of my slumber, basically, that I heard the doctor say the word paralyzed. I was like, this sounds so bad. I'm going back to sleep. Like I was in denial, and it was pretty apparent to me how bad it was because Yeah, I was just tied down. They anchored me to a bed that rotated back and forth, like the rotor rest bed. I heard. I think it's called. But
I remember that.
yeah, yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, I actually do hear a lot where people don't grasp the concept that they're paralyzed. They're like, oh no, 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 I can just get up. You know, it's a mental thing versus a physical.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Well, look at you now. You know, look at all of us now. Yay! Okay. Are there any personal triggers that you have to stay aware and conscious of, Tiffany, due to how you're injured?
Really?
Wow.
No.
Yeah, I guess I'm just basing it off of
Not really.
I think you posted pictures once, so I always wonder like, oh, like do they remember anything? Or is it hard for them to smell alcohol or something and be reminded of someone, you know? Things like that. I'm always curious how it affects people. But I'm glad nothing triggers you because, you know, it's difficult sometimes.
Like it's so different. Like I really don't really think of anything like that.
Wow, you must sleep well at
I
night.
don't. I don't. But we have to every hours.
Yeah. Well, that's different. I would rather have, you know, that issue than like be haunted at night. Because sometimes like I'm like just mulling over things at night, and it's just not healthy.
You're right.
Yeah, but it comes to the territory. Yeah, what happened to us is really traumatic.
Used to it now.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? Well, are there any personal struggle triggers that you have to stay aware of and conscious of?
For me, it's not really either. Not
Wow.
More so like I'm selective of who I'm being around. You know, that's
Yeah.
something where because I trust who I'm being around with that. Nothing will happen. You know.
Yeah, this is so amazing. You guys really belong on this show because I feel like instead of like letting it cause you anxiety and trauma, I feel like you took away from it was more awareness, like how who you get in the car with, what cars you're around, what kind of people you're around, for safety reasons. Like you took away more than you felt, what it took away from you, which is amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
That's really good. So yeah, I guess more of the story, guys. I think Teresa and Tiffany just wants you guys to remember to be very aware of who you get in the car with and their alcohol intake and just them as a person. Be more conscious of that. Okay,
Yeah.
to our next topic, a very common issue within the spinal cord injury, urinary tract infections, lovely UTIs. Tiffany, have you experienced any UTI while living with paralysis?
Since 2010, I get them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. I have to be on antibiotics for like 13 days, but I just told it. I mean, one of my boys.
Yeah.
Something I should bring to the but
Yeah.
that's struggle with that at all. Like every couple months, every month, that's what I struggle with.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's very common. Okay. We'll like dive into it a little more after. Thanks, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? Do you experience UTIs while living with paralysis?
Yes. I've had one actually really bad where it happened for Christmas Day. No, everybody's happened at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I and I was stuck in bed because I had, he came out from my anesthesia, just wildly, and that it made that super big, my position area, plus my bag, so it was everywhere, and it sucked, it was horrible, and I had to deal with it, for the day after, and it's whole weekend,
Yeah.
so I finally was able to contact my doctor about taking care of, so that's only one that I'm so lucky I had, that was really bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through something so like such an inconvenience on like the holidays, but because UTIs are so dangerous, I'm glad you caught it and it didn't travel to your kidneys and you're here and you're safe. You know?
Yeah.
So things it's just as you know, if you guys read my post yesterday, I think these are just messages our body is trying to tell us, like how we can figure it out. And yeah, so okay, Tiffany, how do you catheterize if you don't mind sharing? What's your outlet?
After with 3-year-old, every 2 weeks, I don't let them have my get out because I'm not responsible for that. But I mean, they had this, but I just don't want it. And then that way we're monitoring, I'm trying or have connected. So that's how
Yeah, so you have a super pubic, right?
yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I do too. How do you catheterize, Teresa?
So when I first left rehab, I pretty much telling myself, don't go to sleep. Wanted to minute a catheter ride myself, have, care treatment, so I can do it myself. And it was a struggle, pretty much. I mean, because you have to compare yourself after, walk through fluid, it was just big of a, like, go anywhere I wanted to do, and thinking about hoping that I wouldn't accident, things like that. So I finally gave in a year after leaving rehab and got the super pubic surgery, and it was like, that's a decision I could have done.
Yeah, right.
It's just,
Wait,
it goes into our fully back.
do you I know you have a lot more like hand function, like in comparison to me at least. Do you let it drain in a bag or do you drain it like some people have like the valve where they unclasp it and just pee into like a bottle or something? Like can you feel when your bladder's full? Is that what you do?
So I used to be able to do that, but most of the time I have a bag attached to the leg, just the one that just around, like the ankle, and I completely wrap myself, so that's the one I'll go out with, and I'm now completely is is without one, but then I can take care of it myself.
Yeah, so you can do either or, huh?
That's cool.
Yeah, I can show you some like bag tips because everyone is always like, "Oh, where's your bag?" And I'm like, I tape it higher. I mean, it's frowned upon to tape it higher because it's supposed to drain lower, but mine drained just fine, and I get cystoscopy, and I'm very careful, So if you ever need any tips or tricks, maybe you can come back on and we'll share pictures and stuff like that, guys. So yeah, I'm glad. I saw like the suffering I felt like I was causing my family by not getting the super pubic. So I got it like right after my injury. There were so many sleepless nights in the ER, and I didn't have. Don't you guys feel like you went through a spinal cord injury crash course? So when you left, you're like, what doctor is what? Who is who? And like, it's just so much to learn the system, right? So I didn't have a primary care doctor set up. I didn't know that because I was ADing, it was from a urinary tract infection because I had a catheter downstairs. It was coming out of the urethra, which is a lot of bacteria. It's not meant to have a catheter in there long term, So just lots of
Right.
sleepless nights, and it was so disheartening to watch my poor mom, like 50-year-old mom at the time, like curled up in a chair sleeping. It broke my heart. I was just like all for what? Because I'm too shy to capture my pee in a bag and people might see it. I was like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it for my mom.
Yes, that was totally me.
Yeah, it's making me tear like talk about it because, like my family is just there for me, and I try to work with them and make it convenient for them, and I'm pretty sure you feel that way too. Like if you love your family, you find ways to love them the way they love you by kind of easing the load any way you can. You know. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional. But yeah. Okay. Tiffany, how and who changes your catheter? I think you told me.
So one more time.
How do you change your catheter and who changes your catheter?
I go to urology.
Gotcha.
So that may do it for me.
Yeah, whatever makes you feel safer, because I know you did mention that you have chronic UTIs. Which, by the way, whoever is watching right now and you guys have any tips and any idea how to help Tiffany with this, please drop a comment below because, I'll let you explain it, Tiffany. Do you want to explain a little, like, with what you go through? Even with being careful? Like,
I get them all the time. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I don't know. No, it's crazy.
yeah.
And I could go like and then mom did it again.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I feel like
Yeah, she goes to urology too, guys. So either he's not being clean or there's something we don't know, and we would like to trust the professionals. But yeah, let us know, guys. Yeah. Okay, Teresa. How and who changes your catheter?
So I go once a month with the for really big and it changed my super big catheter. I mean, people all the way there. I'm in Mexico. I go to San Jose 1 month, which is like an hour and a half drive about because they specialize in injury and use, and no one locally really understands,
Yeah.
everything to do with public injury. Because when I go to the ER for my CCI, they didn't really know how to like put them through it, and
Yeah.
so I have to travel pretty much a urologist that doesn't know.
Gotcha. For me personally, you guys can, take it however, but I always do advise others to kind of learn your catheter care in case of an emergencies because I've had clogging incidents so many times from the beginning. I do know how to change my I don't change it myself, but I can change like the most clueless. I can train the most clueless person to change it for me. I would rather them sloppily change my catheter, at least get it changed. I'll take antibiotics later if I do catch UTI, but at least I do like the safety side, of directing someone to change my catheter. So if you girls ever need me to explain to you, and since we're women or even need a video, like I'm open to sharing how I changed my catheter because it's pretty simple, and I wouldn't want you to travel so far, Teresa. When I know you have it within yourself to to direct someone. So if you're ever like ready, or if you don't feel like it's too invasive, then I'm happy to share with you girls. Okay, so for Tiffany, what is your best technique to prevent UTI? Like, what do you do?
For me, I follow through with antibiotics because like I'll start feeling like 7 minutes more, and then it goes to the antibiotic. So for me, finishing up this.
Oh, Is there any sterilizing techniques that you rely on, like your pee bags and stuff?
Um, no.
Gotcha.
They empty it and they wipe with alcohol, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
No, that sounds good. Yeah, I spray all my pee bags and my leg bags just to sterilize it. So maybe that's something you can also do when you take it off or put it back on. Because bacteria colonizes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, Teresa, what is your best technique to prevent UTIs? Like, what's your sterilization techniques?
Uh, Sterilizing, I pretty good at just staying every just once a week to keep the bathroom cleaning and then also take cranberry pills. Then everyone I've been doing it every
Yeah.
day. I take cranberry pills and I just make sure that my walking is where it should be the day. I'm drinking enough.
Yeah. Do you alcohol your bag or anything? Like when you take it off or put it back on?
No, I actually usually will just swap it out for a new bag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always I think it's important to alcohol if you can. I usually just buy a bottle of alcohol from Dollar Tree and I put it in a small spray bottle and I just spray it for extra safety precautions. If you ever notice that you're gonna get you're feeling UTI symptoms, But if it works for you, yeah. Okay, good. So as women and all humans, we have insecurities, and I was wondering, before sustaining a spinal cord injury, Tiffany, what were some of your personal insecurities then as a woman, and like what were they then? Prior injury, okay? Can you remember?
I don't really know.
Sometimes it's too far back. You don't really think, Oh, really? It's okay. If you don't remember, you don't remember.
Something like that. Like speaking of a relationship.
Oh,
I think it's the same
me
thing.
too. Yeah, it was hard for me to communicate back then, unless I had like liquid courage. I don't know that. Okay, that's a lot of us didn't really learn to be unshy until thrown into the situation. I don't know if you felt that way, but yeah, it really made me have to like work on communications and looking people in the eye and not looking down when I ask for something.
Yeah.
Good answer. Okay, how about you, Teresa? Before sustaining a spinal cord injury, what were your personal insecurities as a young adult?
Even though it wasn't that long ago, I can't think of any off like top of my head.
Yeah.
Honestly, back then before injury, I was I call it like so I was confident. I had perfect life started me.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to think back before injury. I knew I was. I tried not to
Yeah.
because I thought I was perfect, and so I wanted to become perfect in this form.
That's so good. It's funny when we're at the age we're just like, you think you're hot shit. And rightfully you are. It's such an egotistical age, and I love it. I want that level of confidence again. And but I feel like this level of self-love now is more pure, and it's a little more humble. And yeah, for me, I asked that because prior to my injury, I was a very insecure person, like has badly insecure, and I had really like crooked teeth, and I remember I was finally able to afford braces, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm finally skinny. I'm finally gonna have straight teeth now. Then I'll finally be pretty. then I'm good now because it's a struggle all my life. And then next thing you know, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm like, okay, I have straight teeth now. I'm skinny, and then I am in a wheelchair. So I had to really restart loving myself in the most pure way I know it. So,
Yeah.
well, good for you guys. Being shy and feeling like you're hot shit is like way better than mine. Okay, Tiffany, do you have any insecurities as a woman right now currently living with paralysis? What are
Yes.
some?
Mine's definitely my hands.
Oh,
I know it sounds kind of
Yeah.
I got the North Cross. It's kind of like weird, but that's my biggest insecurity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my hand feels like, oh, Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked. And they're
Yeah.
like, go with my hands, but
Yeah. People get really weird when I like reach out. They're like, oh. And I'm just like, dude, just shake it, like, or they don't know. They're so confused, Well, I hope you know you are more than your hands. Your insecurities are valid, and I get it. I was there. I think I stopped noticing so much because we worked so hard to get here to use our hands, So as a mental choice, like Teresa said, I'm not gonna fucking let you take away what I worked so hard for because you're uncomfortable around my hands, So I hope you should be proud of how hard you work for those hands, Yeah, it does not take away from you. But thank you for sharing your just being vulnerable about your insecurities, How about you, Teresa? What are some of your personal insecurities?
It's literally the same thing Tiffany said. My hand. I guess work. I worked so hard to get them to do what they do, and things like that. It's just maybe photography to the just like I don't know what to deal with them, and I feel like self-conscious about them,
Yeah.
like positioning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It I used to think too. I was like, it's like hair my hand. I so much easier just sitting at work, and that's definitely something I'm struggling to like get over.
Yeah.
Then I come fully back, and I need to make those work physically do now. No, that's just
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll find it within yourself. It takes time, and I don't know. I can't say it's an age thing, but like as time goes on, like you kind of it becomes like less important. Or I hope so. Because there are just so many things that you work so hard for. Well, hopefully after this conversation, because I'll tell you this, you guys, I know you're insecure about your hands, but like I am so envious of how much like strength and arm strength you both have, because mine isn't about my hands, it's about my one weak arm, because it's always like it drops and like you don't know what to do with your hands. I don't know what to do with that one arm. It goes straight out, it can go slightly up, but like it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a dead arm because it's gone really far, but like, you know what I mean? We all have our own struggles, and so that's my own personal insecurities, and I hope you guys know what you have, and it's amazing. I wish I had that actually. Yeah, no, don't feel bad though. Don't feel bad because you feel insecure about that, because it's valid. This is a place where I want you to know your insecurities or your pain and your emotions are valid. Okay, thank you, Teresa. What were you super insecure about, Tiffany, in the beginning of your injury, but was able to overcome it and feel more confident confident about it now?
I would. I had a budget in my head for that scar. I was always trying to. And just looking at the and I went. I was always about it, and I think now I'm like, I'm putting that. That's kind of weird to say, but I was really old, insecure, and shy about it.
Yeah.
It was just hard to get rid of that. Look at the guys taking off.
Yeah.
Just there. Like, this is never gonna go away.
Yeah. But you feel okay now. Like it feels like you've
Yeah,
come along.
okay now.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, I think as time goes on, and we work on ourselves, and we just feel more confident and believe in ourselves more. Like just certain things will, I won't say it'll go away or will mean less, but gradually we'll find more confidence or more importance. Great, thank you, Tiffany. Okay, how about you, Teresa? What were you super insecure about at the beginning of your injury, but was able to overcome and feel more confident about it now?
I mean, with being still like newly injured, I guess I'm almost on my 3-year mark. I would say, yes, being in a wheelchair.
In general, yeah.
Being insecure about having a wheelchair now, and I feel I've gotten more confident or confident with it. Because, that it's a good thing now, and trying to get over it, I guess. Like, because for me, wheel put me in an electrical. I'm not too sure it's bad. I love electrics. And I was like, my goal is to get stronger. My goal is to get so and then kind of like, make confident too. My confidence.
Yeah.
Like that, injury itself, I was secure about getting. It's just getting confident with it now.
No, you're doing really well. You too, Tiffany. So, just keep moving forward and keep working on yourself and, keep pushing forward. I know I know you're probably still in the phase where you feel more, probably a little more hyper aware of either like just simply being in a wheelchair and people following you with their eyes, things like that. And I hope maybe like me, you can do certain things that kind of, I call it exposure therapy. I didn't like being looked at or stared at. I would get really uncomfortable. So when I worked really hard to get in a manual, I took my ass to the mall and it was like full blown eyes on me, and I pushed around the mall and I worked out. I did like arm what's it called? Arm presses at the mall, and like everyone just stared at me, and over time I just cared less. And I can't explain to you how many times someone asks me if I need help at the mall. I feel grateful, but it is annoying. But then like it helps me get over like it's things like that, So hopefully you can like bring yourself to exposure therapy like me.
Not a bad idea there.
Yeah, no, and you have a lot stronger arms than me. Then that's a good place to do cardio and do exposure therapy. Okay, Tiffany. Thank you, Teresa. What's it called? Well, that is where I wrote that weird long sentence. That's not a sentence, Teresa. Just typo. Okay, let me go to the last topic, which is personal struggles. Tiffany, how have you been coping amidst the pandemic while living with paralysis? Was it difficult, or like how was it?
For me, I'm not a caregiver now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we but I think things as well. That was like a blessing.
Yeah.
It was really because you just
Yeah. Yeah, you have multiple caregivers, so it was different people all the time, Yeah, that's
Well,
good.
at least it was nice. That's good.
Yeah. I come from a big family, so, you know, I mean, side note, I did catch COVID, but that'll be another story another time. And it wasn't from like me actively going out, it's me protecting people and dragging it home. But anyways, how about you, Teresa? How have you been coping amidst the pandemic while living with paralysis?
Uh, I can feel a bit okay. I was being comfortable at home. At
Yeah.
home. uh, kind of found ways to admit my home. I've been able to cope with it. Being able to do things Netflix my time. What pain and things like physical stuff, physical therapy.
Yeah.
That's my only activity I've been doing is with the therapy. So we're getting out of
Yeah.
that's sweet. That's just me trying to be more not here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone, like, we did what we can, and that's the best we could do, and I feel like we made it. There's a vaccine now. I'm getting mine this Saturday. So, yeah, it just,
I got mine Monday.
oh, lucky. I went to my appointment too early last week. I was so embarrassed. Yeah. Oh, Tiffany probably has questions. Like, this is a little off topic, but how did you feel? Did you have any symptoms?
No symptoms. No, my arms are sore.
I hear that too.
More clothes were and with things like pain, it was under your back. No bad thing. It made me feel more, but I usually am. But other than that, no, it was fine. So,
Yeah.
doing good.
That's good. That's good. So, yeah, there you go, Tiffany. At least one, person who's a quad who has gotten it, if you're interested.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Tiffany, do you struggle to cope while living life with paralysis?
Struggle with what?
Do you struggle to cope, like how you deal with it? And sometimes is it hard to cope and deal with paralysis and living life?
I don't really think about it like that
Okay,
anymore.
that's good.
I don't know. There's so much going on. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
You know.
I love this.
Just
I know I love talking to you guys because I feel the same way. Like I feel like I don't know if it's like this for you, Teresa, since you just got injured, but I feel like you have such a good head on your shoulders, and like we just kind of go about our day, like yeah, like it sucks, but like what can you do, right? Are you gonna live life, or are you just gonna sit there, So that's beautiful. Okay, good. That's good to know. Thank you, Tiffany. How about you, Teresa? What do you struggle to cope while living with paralysis since you're newly injured?
I just like a little things like I wish to get little things
Yeah.
hassle having to ask like do my hair like grooming things like you bug someone extra or not bug I guess but having persistence that bugs me that's something to do with everything I was independent outgoing everywhere
Yeah. I think that's what we all struggle to cope with. Yeah, like to ask for every little thing for a physical help, It becomes second nature, but like sometimes when you really stop to think of it, you're like, damn, this is really like for the rest of my life. I have to ask you for this.
Yes.
So things like that, But I mean, if we keep thinking of it like that, then it's really gonna bug us, But yeah, I'm glad you can be honest about it, and you're not bugging. It feels that way, and maybe like if our family's frustrated, it just they're human too. They get tired, and
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, thank you, Teresa. How about you? So for Tiffany, do you struggle with depression, anxiety, or loneliness? Any of it?
I struggle with depression I think, man, that's a good question. I think the depression is my kids getting older, and I feel like, what do we know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, like future.
That's
And it's not even about your injury, it's more so your
you want
kids,
to
right?
raise them. Yeah. It's my fault. I was like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do now? Like, again, I'm speaking out,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Gotcha. Great.
that's about it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I can only it's so different, That's for your perspective as a mom, a hot mom. Yeah. Okay, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that, very personal side of you. Okay, Teresa, do you struggle with depression, anxiety, or loneliness?
I'm familiar with the protection before my accident. So after my accident, it definitely made it bigger, just why I have like coffee days where I just want to be, alone or that's just real. I'm not so happy I'm able to talk to them, definitely. And then my issue is just there's normal things. I have my neighbors listening, oh my god, yeah. I still have normal, anxiety or normal things, depression or normal things, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone has, it's not us, so.
Yeah. As humans, we have ongoing fluctuation of emotions, and I hope you know that it's normal to feel a level of like depression. I would say I'm very emotionally and mentally stable now, but there are days where it just dwarfs me and I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And depression even if your life is normal, it's just emotions that you feel certain days that are more heavy. And yeah.
And then valid.
Yeah. And as long as you're aware of that, you're not hard on yourself and you don't judge yourself, or you can let it pass, and maybe the next hour, next minute, or the next day can be better. And if not, like, my life changed when I finally bit the bullet and went to therapy. So if you guys are ever interested, it's such a healthy, the most perfect life. Go to therapy. Yeah, like it's just you need to unload. So I don't know why it was so. Yeah, I remember thinking that I was crazy and my life was over because I called to book my first therapy appointment because I bottled up so much that I explode. And I thought it was it, but when I went to therapy, it changed me so much. Changed my life so much too. So that's always an outlet too. Whoever needs to explore it. Okay. So overall, Tiffany, how do you find ways to cope and live an enriching life while living with paralysis? How do you make your life enriching? What's fulfilling to you?
I just like the I think a good just so great. I think like eating really good makes me so happy. It's good to say that, but didn't think having somebody that can cook really good makes me. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Did you say eating good?
Yes.
No. Yeah, food is like a source of happiness. I love food. Yeah. You're a simple girl, Tiffany. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, life is very temporary. So those little things in life, like a good old plate of food makes you happy. Yeah. Thank you, Tiffany. That's so wonderful. Okay, Teresa. Overall, how do you find ways to cope and live an enriching life while living with paralysis?
So I think for me, it kind of like it depends on family and friends to help me like outdo things and get to places because if I'm just stuck at home like the best thing I can do, it gets boring and like friends and weeks and like loneliness stuff. So I depend on them to help me break out of that and go out and do things, go places,
Yeah.
doing things, because I'm not just going to live the rest of my life stuck at home.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. I don't know if you guys were like, yeah, prior to your injury, I think me and you talked about this at the hospital. I think we were kind of like outside of home, didn't really come home much, and you don't really value family and who's there for you. You think your friends are just everything at the age and in those moments, But now, like, we're so close to our family. I notice you are too, And I rely on family for every little thing. And like when I'm sad or if I want to go grab a drink, they're always there, So I definitely agree with you. Yeah. Family, they're everything. Okay.
It's just the support from them.
It is.
That helps.
Yeah. Such a good support system. Okay, guys. All right. It's about the time where we close out another episode of ours. If you girls would like to just quickly share your social media and just spell it out so people know. Oh, go ahead, Tiffany. I'm sorry.
My Facebook is Tiffany. My Instagram is.
Oh, it's okay. It's right here. It's JAHNE11781.
There you go.
Okay, go ahead, Teresa.
You guys should check it out.
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
My Facebook is Teresa Messini, and my Instagram will be below, but it's a wild thing.
Everything's spelled out down below, guys. Alright, I would like to thank everyone who's watching right now, and a special thanks to these girls for coming on and sharing about their amazing lives and their journey. If you enjoyed our show, feel free to click the notification bell, give me a like, and subscribe to our channel for future episodes. And I will be hosting these shows twice a month, the first and third Wednesday of every month. And also, if you would like to shop at Resilient Apparel, feel free to click the link below in the description section. All proceeds helps me afford ongoing physical therapy and other medical expenses. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys then. Bye!